morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, in today's video, we'll discuss about an industry-based case study where we have spoilage in rice. As we all know, rice is also one of the product or one of the commodities we usually get from the building and all those industries. So in such case, we have so many spoilage in case of rice, right? So today we will be discussing about how spoilage or how microorganism plays a role in rice and how spoilage is usually happening. So each of you can give your points.
So before going into the topic of how cooked rice spoilage, I think basically we should know about what is food spoilage. So food spoilage is basically the undesirable changes in food like bad odor, change in taste and all those things which causes spoilage in food that we can't consume, it's not consumable. And it also leads to various infections and food poisoning also. So this is caused by various microorganisms and also some environmental factors and chemical reactions inside the food. So I think the basic culprit in this case is Bacillus cereus bacteria, which is very common in spoilage of cooked rice.
Okay. So I think Hema discussed about what basically is spoilage is and what is the major contributor in case of cooked rice, right? Exactly. Okay. So only knowing about spoilage is not going to proceed us further. We need to know in detail about what causes it and what are the impacts and how we can control it and all that. So we can discuss that also.
So the prevention and control in this spoilage of spoiled rice. So the main microorganism present here is Bacillus cereus. So due to proper storage only we can control the spoilage of the rice. So storing it in the room temperature more than 2 hours leads to the formation of microorganisms and leads to vegetative growth, toxin production, etc. So after that, if we store it in the refrigeration, it should be below 4 degrees Celsius, and if it is being reheated, it should be above 74 degrees Celsius. So we should also practice the GMP, that is good manufacturing practice and good hygiene practices, like cleaning of utensils, cleaning the lid, covering it with the lid, storage conditioners, etc. So after this, from this we can able to store the rice in a proper condition. And also I think the main reason for this food spoilage and also all these things is because of our carelessness. We should cover our rice properly, we should store it in proper conditions to avoid these microorganisms. Not only bacteria, not only this Bacillus cereus, but also many other microorganisms cause food spoilage. So anyone know which are all the microorganisms? Bacteria, yeast, fungi, all those things.
So now I will explain how spoilage happens in rice. After cooking, rice contains its nutrition, high protein and natural pH and all. When cooked rice is kept in room temperature, the Bacillus cereus starts germinating and multiply. This bacterium causes enzymes like amylase and protease. Amylase which breaks starch and protease which breaks the protein which is present in the rice. Due to this enzymes, due to this enzymes, the rice develops off odor, sticky and slimy texture, also not even in good taste. So this causes damages in rice.
Okay, now I explain about the impacts and symptoms related to food poisoning. Bacillus cereus is one of the foodborne bacteria. It is commonly found in soil, water, and cooked rice. The bacterium type causes 2 types of virus. First one is emetic type and one diarrhea type. The emetic type is affecting the stomach and it affects within eating the contaminated food within 1 to 6 hours per week. And the second type is diarrhea type. It is affected the intestine and abdominal pain, causes abdominal pain and stomach cramps. It affects within a few hours. So proper treatment is needed. So the prevention of this is importance of food practices such as handling the food, cooking the food, and hygiene handling and correct storage temperatures.
Then I will explain about the Bacillus in type of environmental conditions. Then the Bacillus cereus is associated with starchy foods. Then due to an ability to produce extracellular hydrolytic enzymes, then especially amylases.
Okay. So I think we have covered up with right from spoilage till how it can have an health impact on a particular person when we are consuming spoiled rice, right? So I have a simple question. So when Jagdish said about the Bacillus cereus, he mentioned something called facultative anaerobes, right? So I have a small question from what you guys discussed, okay? So as Jagdish was discussing, he said a term called facultative anaerobes, right? So what do you think actually facultative anaerobe means?
Ma'am, so it is when some microorganisms only multiply in the presence of oxygen. They are called as anaerobic. And some which doesn't reproduce or grow in the absence of oxygen and all those things. But this term, which means that microorganisms can produce both in the conditions of in presence of oxygen and in the absence of oxygen.
Excellent. So that is called facultative anaerobes. So with this we have discussed how the spoilage can cause, till how it can have an impact on the particular consumption, what can cause a spoilage. So I think by this we have an awareness of how we can prevent spoilage. Any other questions?